Hello everybody and welcome to Wednesday's English lesson. So today we're going to be learning about how to use apostrophes for contractions. Okay, two complicated words there. But first of all, let's just talk about apostrophes quickly. Apostrophes just look a bit like flying commas, okay? So you've got a comma, which is like a full stop with a tail, okay? But it's flying, it goes above the line. You'll see more about how that works when we get into this, all right? And we're going to be using the contraction to help us with today's work. Okay, so the idea behind this is that sometimes we can put two words together to make a shorter word. So for example, I am can become, do you know Mr. Fenn?
Does it become I'm?
It does, it becomes I'm. So I am can become I'm. Capital I, apostrophe, there it is, the flying comma, M. Okay, so it started off as two words, I am, and it came out as one, I'm. Okay, so let's have a look inside to see what's going on there, alright? First of all, we got rid of the letter A, okay, so that A disappeared, alright? And then we replaced the letter with an apostrophe, okay? So where there was a letter before, we now have an apostrophe. Does that make sense, Mr. Fenn?
I'm on board, I understand.
Perfect. So let's have a look at a few more examples of words that we can contract. Okay, we've got two sets here. We've got he is and she is. Now, let's start with he is. Can you think, what does he is become if we turn it into one word?
Well, I normally say, when I'm speaking, I wouldn't say he is, I'd just say he's.
Absolutely. We'd say he's. And for she is, we would say
she's.
Now, if you think about what you would say, like Mr. Fenn just did, that'll give you a really good clue about which letter you need to take away. So what's the difference between he is and he's? What letter disappears?
Well, I think it must be the I, because we're not saying is. We're shortening that, so it must be the I we take away.
Absolutely, and the same for she is as well. So in both those words, we take away the I. Oh, didn't need to move it. Let's just go with that, okay? We take away the I. Now, Mr. Fenn, can you remember, what do I then do once I've taken away the letter?
So you take away the letter and then you put in the apostrophe.
Absolutely.
Right?
So the apostrophe goes where the letter was before. So instead of he is, we get rid of that I, but we need an apostrophe there now. So he, apostrophe, flying comma up there, and then the S, all right? And for she is, it'd be the same thing, she, and where the I is, we put an apostrophe, and then have an S, okay? So let's see if we were right. Very well done, we were right. Okay, next one, we've got they are now. They are, as in they are talking to me. They are my friends.
Okay, so we'd say, if I say, okay, they're talking to me. They're talking to me.
Absolutely, it becomes the word there.
There.
Okay, so for this one, can you think, a bit tricky this one, which letter do you think we need to get rid of for this contraction?
So they are there. Well, I can't hear. It must be this Y we get rid of. Is that right? No, hang on. Because they are. Oh, we're not saying they are there. So we get rid of the something in here. It must be. Was it the A?
Absolutely right. You are completely correct. It would be the A that we lose. I'm going to stop trying to draw on this.
I think you have the pen straight on. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Brilliant. So we're getting rid of the A. And of course, when we get rid of a letter, we have to replace it with
apostrophe.
Absolutely. So instead of they are, we have they. The next letter would be A, but we don't have an A anymore. We have an apostrophe. And then we have R-E. Let's see if we were right. It looks like we were. Brilliant. Okay. Let's do another one. So, are not.
Are not.
Are not.
Okay.
You are not my friend. That would be an unkind thing to say, but you are not my friend.
Okay, but if we're speaking normally, naturally we'd say, you aren't my brother. There we go.
There we go. That's
You aren't
the
my
one.
brother.
You are my brother.
You
Yeah.
aren't. Okay, so let's think. You aren't. I think it must be this, as in this O.
Yeah, so if you think about the word aren't, it's that off sound that's gone, isn't it? So it'd be the O, that disappears. Let's see if I get it. Oh, look at that. I've got it right first time this time. Okay. But watch carefully what I do here. I'm going to write aren't, thinking about where the apostrophe goes. R apostrophe NT. Yeah? Because
Now I see
the
that.
words.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I see that written in Word when I'm looking at children's work. Often I see that, but yeah, it's not quite right, is it? Because you just told me we're getting rid of a letter and replacing it with an apostrophe.
Absolutely.
So it must be instead of the. So it must go there instead of the O, where the O would have been.
Absolutely right, Mr. Fenn. Okay, because otherwise, remember what I said, the apostrophe goes where the letter was. Otherwise, what we'd be saying is are not is spelt like that, are aren't. That's not right, is it? Okay? So instead, aren't would be A-R-E-N, then the apostrophe, because that's where the O should be, and then the T like that. Okay, so your activity today. First of all, the mild challenge to get you warmed up. We have got a whole load of contracted words here. Okay, he's, she's, who's, I'm, can't, and so on. Alright, I want you to read through those words, and then I want you to write down the two words that they're contracted from. So, for example, we looked at this one together, didn't we? He's. Can you remember what two words were they contracted
I can, yeah.
from?
He's is he is.
Absolutely. Okay, so number one would be he is, and so on. So going through all of those and writing out the two words they're contracted from. Once you've done that, you're then kind of going to do it the opposite way around. So I've got bits of writing here, just a few sentences, and in these sentences there are some words that can be contracted, turned into one word with an apostrophe. So listen carefully, Mr. Fenn. I'm going to read you the first sentence. I want you to see if you can identify those two words that I can contract. So,
Okay.
I could not wait to see my friends.
Okay, easy. So could not, if I was speaking naturally, it'd be I couldn't.
Absolutely,
Contracted.
couldn't. Brilliant. So I'm going to write for number one, couldn't, because that's the contraction I could use.
Okay, so
Now I've got to think carefully.
So if I look here, yeah, it's the. Remember, it's the O you're getting rid of, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So if you write, so could.
Yep, could. Do I need the apostrophe now?
No, so you want the N now because we're joining them together. It's
Yep.
could and get rid of the O, so then the apostrophe goes there, and then your T at the end.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting rid of the O, so the apostrophe goes there. And so on. So look through, read those sentences, find those two words that can be contracted, and write down the contractions. Good luck, and we look forward to seeing how you get on with this.